Hey everybody, it's Zach McLaughlin. I just wanted to reach out and give an update on what we're doing here in the schools. It's been a crazy stretch. I'm sure if you're like my family, it's constantly trying to figure out what's coming next and making sure that we're prepared for it. And it's been a big adjustment to have the kids at home every day and trying to figure out how to make that work. And I'm sure all of you are going through a similar strain. And we just wanted you to know that we're thinking about you here. And that we're doing the best we can to do a variety of things to start to make life a little bit easier as we're going through this stretch. So the big story here around the COVID-19 coronavirus has been that we have been in a constant state for multiple weeks now of making plans, changing plans, new information comes in, rip out the old plan, put in some new ideas. It's been busy, and so for us, what seems like 14 years ago, which was just like a week or so ago, we had a task force that was trying to make sure that we had the best possible understanding of the information that was coming out of the CDC and the health department so that we could make sure people were safe inside of our schools and give all kinds of guidance about what to do and what not to do. Then as we headed in towards the tail end of last week, I was in a position where I met with a bunch of regional superintendents. We started to get even more concerned about the possibility of community spread, and we started to look at the need to cancel some other activities that were going on, that we were going to keep doing school, but that most of the other stuff that we were doing, while it was important, it wasn't important enough for us to potentially expose people to community spread. So we issued that joint statement where we're going to cancel all activities, community activities, and extracurricular type events within our districts. And the plan was, on my end, was that we knew, okay, closure's probably coming at some point for a certain period of time, maybe about 14 days. And so what we did is we went ahead and we started thinking that we're going to cancel parent-teacher conferences towards the end of this week and have people work on producing lesson plans and that type of work. So that we could start to push out some distance learning to people. That was the plan. Well, we never got there, of course. The governor on Sunday decided that schools were going to close. And they were going to close no later than Tuesday. So I came back. I had met with a bunch of superintendents in Burlington just prior to the government's announcement about what we thought needed to happen statewide. Then upon my return, I had my team meet here on Sunday for a while to talk about what we thought was in our best interest, in the best interest of the community. And at that meeting, we decided that it does not make sense to bring in kids on Monday and Tuesday because we were going to need that time to prep. We had a lot of work to do, and we knew we were going to keep staff out. We were going to do a bunch of planning, and the plan was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, bring in staff, do a bunch of work around this, getting ready to do online learning and shifting the organization. But we had to prep and be ready to receive people and make sure that we usefully were using our employees' time. So we closed on Monday and Tuesday. We started doing a lot of work around the things the governor was asking us to do, making sure that we were providing meals throughout the community for the youth, looking at online learning and how are we going to do online learning and distance learning, and how are we going to deal with people who didn't have net access. Special services, how are we going to provide special services to people on top of all that as well. Then we also were asked by the governor to help assist the healthcare industry and people, nurses, doctors, people who are considered essential in the fight against the virus, helping them find childcare. So we've been working hard on all those things. On Monday, as we were cruising along towards that plan, the president then announced that he thought that we should, instead of 50 people, which is what the governor had said, that we should avoid social gatherings of 10. At that point, I made the decision that we're going to move to the more stricter standard of 10. And if that was the case, then it wasn't appropriate for us to have a whole bunch of our staff come in and congregate together in big meetings to talk about this type of stuff. that we needed to move to a remote approach as quickly as possible. So we shifted our thinking again. And so today, what we've been doing is we've had teachers coming in a staggered process. People have had specific times to come to their room for a short period of time. They come in through certain entrances. They're supposed to get their stuff, the stuff they need to do to be in a position to start getting ready to do some distance learning, and then they exit. And we've been doing this all day long. So that's been going on. We also started our first round of food service delivery today. We have looked at a bunch of different models. We have put out some information. There seems to be some confusion in the community. There's been some Facebook threads that people send to me where people are giving out, I think they're trying to give the right information out, but they're giving out incorrect information, and it's confusing folks. The program, the food service program that we're going to provide is going to have once a day drops of food at this moment. It could change, but once a day drops of food, which are going to include a couple of different meals, so each day you would cycle back around, and some snacks as part of what would be available. And we have a bunch of locations throughout town where you can pick up. At the moment, we're not doing door-to-door service. We are going to some specific locations to provide meals. Now, I can tell you today, we have asked you to register, and there's a way to do that so that we know how many meals we are producing and to what locations roughly we think those things are going to go. It also allows us the possibility of making sure that if we're asked for some additional tracking from the federal government, that we're able to track, the number of meals that we were providing generally. But don't let the registration process get in the way of picking up meals. We today did a rough estimate of what we thought we might need, and we produced 650 meals we put out. We had more than 100 of those that were not utilized. So we want to make sure that people are getting fed. And so please come out and take advantage of those opportunities. Give us feedback on if you're not coming out but you would like meals, why is that? We're already starting to receive some feedback that's going to inform our practice and how we approach things. But we are determined to get people fed. Another thing that's really important to realize, you don't have to be a K-12 age student. So students who are ages 3 and 4, or kids who are ages 3 and 4, are also eligible for these meals. And it is not limited to free and reduced lunch students. All students, basically, or all kids, ages 3 through grade 12 are eligible for these meals. So we hope that you'll take advantage of this service. We want to make sure people are in good shape and are well fed. In addition to that stuff, we also have teachers soon, and some buildings are already begun, and some other buildings that will be happening soon. We have teachers who are reaching out to their classes to check in on a variety of different things. Some is just to make sure that people are okay and you're doing all right. We also have some questions to best understand how to service you during this period of closure. And we really want to make sure that we understand as much as we can about your situation. Do you have internet access or do you don't? What types of material, do you need certain materials at home, those types of things. So you're gonna have, your teachers are going to reach out. They have forms they're filling out when they talk to you, so we can accumulate all that information and be able to respond to it in a really thoughtful and smart way. That stuff's happening. Online learning. So online learning is coming. We've done a lot of really, really good work. Pretty soon you'll be getting some information at the high school and the middle school level. This will happen a little bit quicker than at K-5. And that's for a variety of reasons. Most of it is because the high school and middle school are both places where it's been more integrated. A lot of this is around thinking about what's developmentally appropriate for kids. The work has already been more integrated with technology in those two buildings. And so, like, high school students already have one-to-one computers they take home. So it wasn't a big deal for us to get up and moving in that regard. It wasn't as big a deal. There's still a lot of teachers who are doing some lift. They are getting used to Google Classroom, making sure that they're in a position to use it well, trying out some new online tools to be ready to move education along. K-5 is going to take us a little bit longer, and I think that's true for everybody around the state. It's a little bit more complicated to do the types of authentic learning that we want to do at K-5. So we're still working through some of that stuff, but we'll be a little bit behind in terms of the start process. Than what is happening at 612, but it's coming soon. The last thing I want to mention is in terms of our planning, I know that the governor has said through April 6th at the moment that that's what we're going to. We're watching what is happening around the country and what's happening with other states. And I want you to know that our planning process is around, the CDC has said they suggest you should not be in groups of 50 people for 8 weeks. That puts us into May. That also, we're also watching what's happening with the discussion of the science around the virus and how other states are responding. Multiple states have decided now that they are not going to restart their school year. They will continue to do online learning and will finish this particular school year in that way. We are planning around the idea. We don't have any special knowledge to know this is what's going to happen, but we're trying to prepare around the worst and assume that we will be doing this for the rest of the school year. We'll keep our, just like you, every day we're listening to press conferences and stuff to try to get a feel for what's actually going to happen, and hopefully we are back on April 6th. But like I said, your people are right now in your schools are building around the concept of being prepared for a much longer period of time. So, all right, that's what I got for today. My staff loves to give me a hard time about the fact that I always say these are going to be like 2-minute videos, and Zach's 2-minute videos end up being 10-minute videos. But I wanted to give you a quick update on kind of where we've been, what we've been up to. There's a lot more that I could discuss, but those are some of the quick, big things that have been going on. So I wish the best for you and your family, and know that we are working hard. You're going to start hearing from your teachers. You're going to start hearing from your principals in your buildings, and we're determined to get this thing rolling and to be a source of stability and calm for all of us in the community as we try to get through this. So we appreciate any help you can give us, any support, and we want to make sure we're there for you. So thanks a lot, everybody.